Well, hi there. I wasn't really sure what to do on these guitars today. I mean, it really will just be a lot of sanding now and on to finishing, but what I decided to do was basically carry on with this one, and I thought I'd do the first fret leveling and start getting some fret leveling done. There's several ways, you know, to do this, and I know people generally use a straight edge with you know, emery paper on it or something, and go over the top of the frets like that, and theoretically that should be perfect. And you know, once you've got, you know, the first pass done, what you can do is put like a Sharpie pen over the top of each one, and then you know, go over it again, and when the Sharpie pen is gone. But I've done that, and you know, I know it should work. I know this beam is absolutely flat. I carefully glue the you know, the sandpaper to it, and I go over it, and I think, oh yeah, all the Sharpie marks are off. And then this is your best asset when you're fret leveling. I mean, basically, you know, I've been over it with this, sanded it all down, and then you basically rock this between 3 frets, and there should be absolutely no rock at all. Then you go up to the next one, and go up to the next one, and so forth, and keep going. But what you've got to remember, say if you've levelled like these 3 here, and this one's a bit high or something, and so you take that down, well, if you're working up the fretboard, that will affect the one you previously did, which, you know, so it's an iterative process where you've got to keep going. And for some reason this doesn't work for me. I know it should do, there's no reason why it does, but I go over it, I remove all the you know, the Sharpie mark on the top of the frets, and I think, oh great, it's flat now, and I go over it with this fret rocker, and there's loads of frets still rocking. I don't know why, but this, for some reason, this is dead flat, shorter diamond file, I go over just the fretboard with that, and this seems to get them really level, really good. But like I say, so I'll finish it with this, getting it all level, then I'll go over it with the fret rocker, and I'll just go over it, check every fret, you know, and do that basically, and then you know, you get them perfect then. But then I've got these files. What you've got to do is when you've done that, the tops of the frets are flat, and that's not very good because you won't get very good intonation, and you want to re-crown them again. And I've tried crowning files with, I've got ones that have got like a gutter. Let's see if I can find it. One like this that's got like a gutter cut in it, but it, you know, obviously it only does a certain size of fret wire. I mean, if you use this on a fret wire that's too wide, you'll end up with, like, you know, the center of the fret being nicely curved, and then kind of little flats that you can see. But you basically just go over it like this. It might actually work with this fret wire, but what I prefer using is these files, which are proprietary fretting files. And for instance, this triangular one has perfectly smooth edges, so they don't dig in the fretboard. But anyway, I'm getting the fret work done now. I'm getting it sort of in the ballpark. No doubt there'll be some more little things to, you know, fettling to do on it. But personally, I don't bother taping up the fretboard. I think it's a fag, and it never lasts long. You know, you've only got to be doing it, and then you'll end up like scraping through the paper, through the masking tape. But with these files with the smooth edges, they don't really mark the fretboard, and you know, you've just got to get a nice even crown to the top of the fret. So be careful not to banana the fret wire or anything. It's just a long process, but there we go. I'll carry on with this. Well, I've just been doing the fret work for a good few hours now, and it obviously needs like more sanding with final, you know, for final smoothness and things like that. But at least it's actually feeling like a functional fretboard now, which is quite nice. One thing I've been looking at is, you know, moving on from this, what I've got to make and what not. The more I've studied these templates that I've got, the happier and happier I am with them, and I'm absolutely, you know, more or less convinced now that the claim of them being taken from a genuine Flying V from 1958, I'm pretty sure is, you know, I mean, I shouldn't doubt it anyway, but like, you know, when you buy stuff off the internet as regularly as I do, you're frequently disappointed. But anyway, the template kit comes with a template for the brass V tailpiece, and it comes with a template for the pickguard, and you know, the hole, even the holes in it for the screws and things like that look correct and everything. So if we put the tailpiece on and pin it where it's meant to go, which is there, and you can see that it lines up absolutely spot on with the centre line of the guitar there, the centre line of the wood join. So and looking at it, you know, with pictures and things like that and dimensions that I've seen quoted on the internet, it appears to be very accurate. It actually goes on perfectly there, lines up with the tailpiece and everything perfectly. And so, you know, again, I'm more and more convinced that this template kit is top notch. I mean, here's a pickup ring, you know, bob that in there. It just fits like a, you know, wrong way around actually. It actually just all fits like a glove. You know, it's just really, really good. So I'll be making my own pickguard. The only problem I've got is that the Flying V pickguard from 1958 is a 4-ply, and you know, it's black white, and I can only find black white black in a sheet. So what I'm going to have to do is, and the thing as well is that I don't think, even if I could find black white, I think the thicknesses of each of the layers would be wrong. They'd be consistent, whereas on looking at the original Flying V, the last white layer is very, very thin. So what I'm planning on doing is going black white black, and then gluing on a thin sheet of plastic on the back, so then I get the 4 layers with the bottom one being thinner. So we're looking good. I'll see where I can go now, and running out of things to do till I get more stuff supplied. So there we go. Welcome back to 3R Guitars and this 58 V flying builds going on and on and on. Yeah, welcome back to the tundra that is the UK. Jesus, when is this weather going to ever end, honestly? It's just awful. Anyway, I'm sort of at a stalling point with the bodies now. Everything's glued up on them and just waiting to really do some finishing on them, but in this weather it's just impossible to spray anything. It's not worth risking it. So they're on hold and I'm catching up with all the little bits. So what I've got here is a black pickguard blank that I just got delivered today, which is black, white, black. Well, I do want black, white, but can't get any of that. So what I've done is I'll make the pickguard out of this, then I'll laminate another white half-mil sheet on the back myself, because when you look at pictures of 58 Flying V's, the laminates aren't consistent thickness, and the last one is certainly thinner. So I've ordered an A3 sheet of white plastic card, which I'm hoping to be able to some way or another glue on the back of this. But in the meantime, you know, I can get a pickguard cut out, and I'm just going to do this today. So when you get these sheets, this is the back because it's matte and there's no plastic on it. On the front here we've got like a plastic protection film over it which you can rip off. So this is the front. This is the template that I have. So, you know, don't go making a left-handed guitar. You can, I'm going to glue the template. Now let's think about it here. Gluing the template on the front, so this will be the front, or I can glue the template on the back, which I'll probably do, because that then, anyway, yeah, get it the right damn way round. It should be that way. So if you put the pickguard on the back of the sheet that way round with the front, I mean, if it's a right-handed guitar it's going to be like that, so you want that on the shiny protected side. So there, quite pleased actually. I ordered this A3 sheet, I think it's A3, and there's plenty on here to make probably 3 pickguards. So what I'm going to do now is glue this on the back with the old super glue and super glue trick kind of thing, and we'll super glue and tape, and we'll go from there and cut it out. So I'll get back to you when I've stuck it on. Right, here we go. I've stuck the pickguard on. I've lined it up with this edge here, so I don't have to do anything with that edge. Make sure, you know, right-handed. Here's the shiny side that you want out. So yeah, we've got the right pickguard. The really annoying thing with this stuff is just the static. But what I'll do now is I'll bandsaw this quickly out quite near the side. I'm doubtful of those square edge corners in there, but the router cutter will cut a natural curve in there anyway when I whiz round it, so not bothered about that, but I'm sure there's a little radius in there. So anyway, I'll quickly get you here. I mean, and if leave the plastic sheet on the back, protective coating, because you know you're sliding it along this sort of thing and you don't want to scratch it, although I'm doing a relic anyway so it doesn't matter. But let's just bandsaw this out then. So here we are, we've got the thing roughly bandsawed out now. I'll set up the router to accurately do it to the edge. I leave like about 1/8 of an inch around, because some, not this pickguard material, this is quite soft actually, but some pickguard material like the old stuff that's more like traffolite, that will chip when you saw it on the bandsaw, so you want to leave a gap, but this is much softer. I don't really like it as much as the old traffolite stuff, but I'm just not going to get what I want in the traffolite, I don't think. So we'll do with this anyway, but I'll get set up with the router now and we'll go from there. Okay, here we go. I'm on my router bench now, so we've got this sawn out. Here I've got a cutter in with a bottom bearing guide. I'm going to give that bearing a little squirt with WD-40 because it's a bit gritty. You know, I really do find sometimes, you know, you get ball bearing bull races with, you know, these protective shields on them, you know, that seal the bearings up. I think sometimes that's worse than ones that haven't got it. Make sure your bench is clear of any glue. I mean, you know, I use this for like blinking gluing up stuff, which, you know, if I had the space I'd have another table. So got the template on the bottom. I'm using a bottom guided bearing cutter, so that's absolutely fine. I mean, you could use a top bearing cutter and have it this way round and you could see a bit better what you're doing, but I haven't got one to hand. So anyway, make sure your bench is clear of shit. Run round and then see, looks good. Let's give it a go, eh? Okay, that was fine. I mean, this stuff cuts very easily. You saw the router cutter caught a little bit here, and I certainly wasn't going to run it right down to this point on the end. You know, you'd only need it to catch there and you'd wreck the thing. Like I was saying, there's these corners here which they're too rounded now. I've got a I mean, that's the other one I've got. What I'm going to do is, you can see that one's slightly rounded. I have got, you can see these have got a slightly rounded end, and that's far too much for that. So what I might do is just swap cutters and just put a smaller radius in there now. I'm not sure if the 58 does have a radius or if it's cut square, but I'll do a smaller radius anyway, and I can always square it off with a file. So I'll get a smaller cutter out now. I'll use this cutter, which is a smaller diameter, and we'll do those little cuts really well. So I'll get back to you when I'm ready for that. Well, here we are. I've got the much smaller router cutter in there. It's the same diameter as that but longer, which will do these small curves exactly the same as this pickguard. Takes longer to set up than it does to blooming do it. It's only going to take 32 seconds to do it. Voila, that's all done now, so we've got really nice. I mean, we could go ahead and drill these holes and stuff. I might have a quick check indoors on my just on a look-see to make sure these holes are in the right place. I think they are, but it would be nice just to check all that before, you know, I drill any of them. You know, we've got the, you know, the pickguard attachment screws, 1, 2, 3, 4 down there, 5 there. These are going to be the two-tone volume and 2 tones. Then the switch, and then I think this hole is the, I'm sure that's the bridge hole that has to be a bit larger than that. But I'll have a check on the pictures first, and I'll knock that off there. That won't take long actually. God, I'm so pissed off with this bloody rain. The whole back of my workshop here is just soaked. It's really irritating, but I suppose could be in worse places in the world. I mean, actually, I could just leave this as it is, and then go back to the holes and things, because you know, I need to cut a chamfer on this obviously to get the licorice all salt look. But I don't know. I'll have a quick check. Well, I had a look at some close-on pictures I've got of 58 genuine 58Vs, and certainly the number of screw holes and the approximate position is perfect looking from pictures on this pickguard. And as you know, the templates, I keep going on how good the templates have been, but as they've been 100% accurate for everything else, as far as I can see, so really very, very, very good. I'm just assuming that this again reflects that. So what I can do now is drill through pilot holes for all the switches, screws and things like that. So very easy job. With glasses on it's even easier. Well, I think that's all the holes through now, so that really didn't take long. I'm going to leave the plastic film on. I'll just scrape it off to make it look nice. I'll get my scalpel and do that. But I don't want to I don't want to get rid of the plastic film on there just yet. I mean, the nice thing about making relic guitars, you don't have to worry about, you know, protecting everything, and you know, if you get the odd scratch in it or whatever, it doesn't really matter. It's not the end of the world, and that's one handy thing about doing relic guitars. Anyway, I think I can leave you there now, and yeah, we've got a pickguard. Okay, welcome back to 3R Guitars and these 58 Flying V builds, and as I think you'll probably have noticed from my demeanour about them, they've been really going well, kind of thing, which I'm really pleased about. Where we've got up to now is that I've built a pickguard from the templates that came with the template kit. I had purchased a pickguard that was supposed to be for a 58 Flying V, but nothing like it and no good. What I'll be working on now is actually making the tailpiece. Now the thing is,